Hello, today I'm going to talk about leading with a moral compass. A compass is an indicator of a physical direction. A moral compass is our unique values that help us make ethical decisions. So in a compass for travel, if it is pointing straight or north, that is the indicator of which direction we're going to. Our moral compass uses that same idea, but using our values to help point us in the right direction to make an ethical decision. When our moral compass is heading north, we know that we are on the right path to ethical decision making. Our moral compass is our set of core values, and everyone has a different moral compass, different values that they believe need to be on their compass. Why should you have a moral compass? To ground your identity, to protect the greater good, to increase self-confidence, to be a role model, and foster healthy relationships. So by having a moral compass and following that moral compass, that is your identity, and moral compass, you're going to make decisions that are for the greater good of your employees, not just for yourself. If you know your values, you have more confidence in your decisions, and you can be a role model to your staff, and that in turn makes healthy relationships. What should you include in your moral compass? Integrity, core values such as your family, fairness, personal responsibility, and kindness, putting other people first in your decisions, respecting individuals' dignity. So instead of just calling somebody out because they did something that they weren't supposed to or was not the best decision, instead of knocking them down, just discussing why they did what they did and what they could have done differently to make a more moral decision. Treat everybody fairly and equal. Be honest. And back to treating everybody fairly, that also includes yourself as a leader. Be honest and know the line in the sand. Know what is acceptable and what is negotiable and what is not, because you don't want to teeter between that line. So you need to know what you're going to accept and what's negotiable in leadership, and what is not. Reading and using our moral compass. Your mind needs to understand how your values and decisions affect others. Ethical decisions can make more work for a leader, which is the importance of having a moral compass, because you don't want to choose something that is the easiest decision, or what's good for you but work for everybody, and sometimes that does take more work. There can be conflict between an ethical choice and what people want, so just beware with that. A perfect example would be ending the mask mandate in schools right now. That'd be a great example of what's ethical versus what people want. Helpful steps for making important ethical decisions. Use the golden rule. So treat others how you would want to be treated. Analyze the consequences of the decision. Analyze the actions needed to make that decision. And make a decision that puts all analysis into account. My moral compass, pointing up would be right, and obviously down would be wrong. And then I think equality and fairness are the closest to making a right decision, ethical decision. Integrity and responsibility are also very important to getting up to that right ethical decision. Loyalty and judgment, also very important values to hold in order to make an ethical decision, but sometimes our loyalty could also point us to making a poor ethical decision, and sometimes our judgment isn't always correct. We have to, look at all other of our values, such as our integrity, equality, and fairness. And then obviously down south would be, pointing south would be the poor or wrong decision. My references, and then my addendum. This assignment correlated with the standards because the resources discuss the importance of professional dispositions and norms to have as part of one's moral compass. The resources, especially the videos, explain the importance of modeling ethical behavior in personal conduct and relationships, and how modeling ethical behavior can have a positive outcome in those relationships and their work ethic. This assignment increased my knowledge of my own moral compass by requiring me to actually picture, create, and explain my moral compass. This assignment was relevant to my current learning because as a teacher, I use my moral compass multiple times a day to make ethical decisions for my students. I didn't realize prior to this assignment what values I truly use when making decisions. I agree that knowing and understanding your moral compass will help me make the right decisions for all stakeholders and not just what is right for me. As a future administrator, I will need to make sure that the values in my moral compass are ones that benefit the entire school community. I will also need to make sure that my teachers have the correct values in their moral compass. This assignment will influence my decisions as a future leader because I am now more aware of the values I believe are the most important in making ethical decisions. I will also try not to make decisions too quickly. A lot of time in education, teachers and administrators feel the pressure to make a decision on the spot. I believe it is okay to have a little bit of time to think about the values in our moral compass before making a decision. A lot of times we make decisions that we believe are good for everybody involved, but in reality they are not. This assignment has reminded me to take time to analyze the situation and make an ethical decision that is fair to everyone affected. And that is my video analysis of Moral Compass. Thank you very much for watching.